welcome to NSO at Home Live, a concert series created by the musicians of the National Symphony Orchestra. My name is Marissa Regni. I'm the principal second violin of the National Symphony. I'll be your host tonight and every Sunday night as we bring live music into your homes and hopefully into your hearts. Tonight we have a great program of varied performers and music and some extra special guests on to explain some of the things you're going to hear. So I'm very excited about all of this. Tonight we've got NSO flutist Alice Kogan Weinreb joining us. We've got NSO percussionist Scott Christian, and our youth fellowship student tonight is Matthew Cummings on the cello. So we're going to jump right into it with Alice Kogan Weinreb. She and I will be playing a duet. We're going to be playing two movements from a sonata by George Frederick Händel. Hope you enjoy. great playing with your colleague and such a good friend, but also Alice and I go one step further. We are neighbors. Alice lives 3 doors up the block from me, and we were carpool buddies back in the days when we got to drive to work to the Kennedy Center. So it's so great to socially distant play a duet with you. Yeah. So Alice, tell everyone how long you've been in the orchestra, because you are one of the most beloved members of the orchestra, without a doubt.
40 wonderful years.
Yeah.
That went very fast.
Yes, 40 years was like yesterday. And speaking of good friends and colleagues, the next piece that Alice is going to play for you is by one of our former colleagues in the National Symphony, Truman Harris. He we like to say graduated. He retired about 3 years ago, and we really miss him a lot, but he is still very much a part of our lives and always a part of the NSO family. So please welcome to the show now, Truman Harris. Hi, Truman.
Bravo, you two.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to see you with your wall of purple.
Oh, yeah.
I should tell everybody, too, that Truman and I share one thing in common, that we love flamingos. We have a great love of flamingos, and I miss talking with you backstage about flamingos.
Flamingos, yeah. I was in Florida 2 years ago to look at flamingos.
Yeah, the best. So Alice is about to play this piece that you wrote. You are, in addition to being a fabulous bassoonist, you were a member of the bassoon section for how long?
44.
44 years. Amazing. So in addition to being a bassoonist, you are an incredible composer and always writing music. And so can you tell us a little bit about the piece we're about to hear?
Sure. Well, Alice has been a longtime terrific supporter of my composition efforts, and she asked me for a piece for flute solo. And at the time she asked me, I had been reading a biography of Scott Joplin, which describes some of his travels. In 1901, he was touring in New York, and I was interested in Joplin's music and had been studying it. I knew Alice had grown up in New Rochelle, New York, and I checked into what was going on in New Rochelle in 1901, and it kind of made sense. Joplin published his piece, The Easy Winners, in 1901, so it was an important year for him. So I wondered if it might be fun to imagine a rethink of Joplin's ragtime style, but in the 21st century. So the music doesn't sound like Joplin, but maybe it gives a little bit of the inspiration from it. So I'm looking forward to Alice's performance.
We are too. Thank you so much, Truman, for being on and for all that you do. We miss you. We love you. Keep writing music. And everybody, now I welcome back to the show Alice Kogan Weinreb playing Truman Harris's New Rochelle 1901. lovely piece. And thank you, Alice. So fantastic. So we're going to be back a little bit later with Alice. She and I are going to close out the show with another duo. But right now, I want to remind all of you that you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all of our social media channels. So please do so. You can go and find us on Facebook as NSO Musicians. On YouTube, we are NSO_musicians, and you can find us on YouTube as NSO Musicians as well. We're always posting brand new content, keeping busy with that as we've been not able to perform at the Kennedy Center. So please follow us, subscribe to us, and like us when you can. We would appreciate that. So we are going to move on now to our next performer, who is playing also a contemporary work. And we're so glad this is composer night. We've got the composer waiting for us in the wings. She's from Connecticut, and she'll be joining us right now to tell us a little bit about the piece. So please welcome to the program, Molly Joyce.
Hi.
Hi, Molly. Thank you for being here. This is very exciting.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So you have written a lot of works. I looked you up on the internet. And right now we're going to hear a piece that is you wrote for vibraphones and cymbals. And it's going to be performed by Scott Christian, our very own Scott Christian. So can you tell everybody about the piece, why you wrote it, what's sort of the meaning behind it, and there's an interesting aspect to the piece as well that I want you to.
Sure. So the piece was written this past spring, commissioned by Bang on a Can and Raleigh Marcus. I'm really grateful for commissioning it. And when I was writing it for Bang on a Can's percussionist, David Cosson, we both kind of agreed upon the vibraphone as one of our favorite percussion instruments and to pursue further. And so I started really thinking about the vibes, like pure sound, how I love that timbre so much. But also there's a lot of possibilities with the vibraphone to kind of augment and play with that sound a little bit. I don't want to necessarily give the piece away, but basically from putting aluminum foil in various parts of the bars or the kind of the metals of the instrument, you can significantly alter the sound, and I really love that. So I tried to start the piece from kind of the pure vibraphone sound, the traditional sound, and then going to hopefully an unexpected place. And the cymbals kind of aid that journey, so it kind of melds into one more distorted and kind of unknown sound, hopefully.
Yeah, excellent. So the name of your piece is?
Purity.
Purity. And you will see, everyone will see when Scott is playing it, his little banner will say prepared xylophone. And by prepared, we mean adding things to the instrument. So that is of course, the aluminum foil to which you referred. So we're very excited to hear this piece. And Scott is just so fabulous. So I cannot wait. So everybody, thank you so much, Molly, for being with us and for telling us a little bit about your piece. And now we welcome everyone to this stage. Please welcome Scott Christian playing Molly Joyce's Purity. Wow, thank you, Scott. That was so cool. I even went and got my Reynolds wrap while you were playing. I see on my thing it says wrap, line, and cover. It says nothing about you can use it on the vibraphones. So I'm definitely going to write to Reynolds wrap and tell them they need to add that to their disclaimer. That was so fantastic. Thank you so much. We're going to be back with Scott a little bit later and get a chance to chat with him. But for now, we're going to move on to our youth fellowship student. As we've been doing, we started doing this in the spring and early summer, featuring every week one of our fantastic teenagers that takes part in our very competitive youth fellowship program. So these teenagers study with members of the National Symphony Orchestra. They play chamber music with each other and coach with members of the National Symphony Orchestra. They get to observe our orchestra rehearsals and sometimes sit in the rehearsals with us and play side by side with us, which is always great fun for everyone involved. And this week we have a really tremendous cellist joining us, Matthew Cummings. He is a student of cellist Danielle Cho. She's been on the show back in the summer. She played on the show, and his mentor in the youth fellowship program is NSO cellist Loie Lin. So we have invited them to come onto the show and wax poetic about Matthew. So please welcome to the show right now, Danielle Cho and Loie Lin. Hello. So nice to see you both.
Nice to see you.
How's it going?
You
Yeah. So Danielle, I think you have worked with Matthew the longest, probably. You're his primary teacher.
Yeah, I've been teaching Matt for the past 4 years now.
Awesome. And you must love working with him. He's a delightful young man. I should tell everybody too that it turns out I went to school with Matthew's mother.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Long ago. But he seems so delightful. It's been really nice to get to know him. So what is one of the, your favorite things about working with him?
Oh, I love working with Matt. He's curious and he's just dedicated to his excellence in music making, and to be a part of his journey as a cellist, which he's just grown tremendously. And now as a composer, I worked on this piece that he'll be premiering today, a little bit this week. And I'm just blown away by what he has done and how much he's grown. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah. And Loie, you are his mentor in the youth fellowship program. And so have you been helping him with orchestra excerpts, or what is your role sort of as you mentor him?
I do whatever Danielle tells me to do.
Good. That's a good answer.
It's basically whatever on top of what Danielle's working with them. Sometimes he needs help with excerpts or solo pieces, but it's so I've had the pleasure of seeing him do a bunch of things and working on little a variety of things, and seeing him grow has been just it's really wonderful. And for him to really follow his passion with composing and really go for it, I think that says a lot about his curiosity and his what Danielle said, his dedication. His hard working. He's really willing to take that leap. I'm really proud of him.
That's great. Well, thank you both for working in. How nice for him to have two fabulous teachers to work with. What a lucky young man he is. Should tell everybody he is a senior in high school, so you're preparing him to go off into the wild soon. So thank you all so much for everything that you do. Both of you, really appreciate it. And of course, we always appreciate your artistry and musicianship and your friendship. I miss you both very much. So can't wait to see you live and in person one of these days. And thank you for Matthew. We're going to head over to Matthew now, and he's going to play first for us a movement of solo Bach. So ladies and gentlemen, here's Matthew Cummings. Bravo, Matthew. Hi, and welcome to the show. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Great to hear you. Sound fabulous. And I'm very excited about the next piece you're going to play because it is your piece. I was just saying that this is like composer night tonight. We had Truman on and we had Molly Joyce on, and now you are going to tell us all about your piece that you wrote. But first of all, how did you get into composition, and how did that become sort of your passion and interest?
Right. So for a long time, I've really loved music from video games and visual media. I've been an instrumentalist. I've been a cellist for most of my life. And just down the line, around middle school, I kind of started dabbling in composition a little bit. And then from there, it kind of was like, wow, I can kind of make this sort of video game music that I really love. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So I know you study composition, and tell everyone the name of your teacher.
Oh yeah, so the name of my teacher, his name is Jordan Chase. He's been giving me lessons since around the beginning of this year, and he's just been such a great help with all the notation bits when it comes to composition, stuff that I'm not familiar with as a composer rather than an instrumentalist.
Right. Yeah. And I know you're a senior right now, getting ready to go off to college. Are you hoping to study composition in college?
I'm definitely looking into composition specifically for visual media, new media like video games and films. Yeah.
Fantastic. So tell everyone a little bit about the piece that you are about to play that you wrote.
So the name of my piece is Some Floating Island, and the inspiration for the piece was from these video game stories that have floating islands that are in the sky and these sort of fantasy settings. The piece itself uses these unique cello techniques, stuff that you can really only get out of the cello, as well as pre-recorded tracks that I will be playing alongside it. So kind of the idea of the piece is to contrast the pre-recorded and unique cello elements along with more traditional cello sounds to give off this feeling of being grounded while being up in the sky, hence Some Floating Island.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Matthew, for being with us. I know you're going to do great things. I can't wait. I know I went to school with your mom, so I know I'm going to hear all about everything you're doing. I'm going to keep in touch with her and in touch with you. And so I wish you all the best. Whenever you're ready, please grace us with your fantastic piece, Some Floating Island. Thank you so much, Matthew. What a fabulous piece. You have great future ahead of you, I know, and I look forward to following up and seeing where you go. So thank you for joining us this evening. We're going to head back now to Scott Christian. Scott is our assistant principal timpanist, and he's also a member of the percussion section. So he's back there banging on all kinds of instruments. Let's go back to Scott right now and talk to him before he plays another piece on the vibraphone.
Hey, Marissa.
Hey, Scott.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. You sounded fabulous.
Thanks. It's
And
cool
I
piece.
see you have taken all of the Reynolds wrap off of your vibraphone.
That's right.
You can like cook a steak now or something. Fantastic.
That's right. Wrap some potatoes up.
Yeah. It's always such a pleasure to hear you play. And you always play the most unique pieces. I always enjoy so much. It's so great. We've been talking a lot about sort of friends and colleagues, and Alice is my neighbor. And you and I were talking the other day. I said, this show is like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, because
Right.
Alice is my neighbor. And tell everybody who you studied with.
Well, Alice's brother is my first percussion teacher. Peter Kogan was the timpanist, now retired timpanist of the Minnesota Orchestra. And when I was in 9th grade, I started studying with him. And probably in one of the very first lessons I had with Peter, I was telling him that in youth orchestra we were about to play Tchaikovsky's Sixth Symphony, and he asked me if I had a recording of it, and I said that I didn't, and so he took a CD off the shelf and he said, "Oh, here, this is my sister's orchestra, and it's the National Symphony Orchestra," and he lent me that CD. And so I knew of Alice very early on, and Alice and I met actually for the first time in Cleveland, Ohio. We were both playing some music of composer Margaret Brower, and I was still in school at the time, and that's the first time I met Alice. And so the Kogan family have been very special people in my life.
Absolutely. You know, they're special to everybody. It just goes to show all roads lead to Alice.
That's right. That's right. I like that.
Well, we're so excited to hear this next piece without the tinfoil.
Yep.
I know you have to switch up your mics a little bit, so I'll let you do that. And then you're going to play for us this piece called, let's see if I can get it right, Argoru
Yep.
7. Yes. So you switch up your mics and we'll come back to you in just a second. And while you do that,
Thank
I
you.
want to tell everybody, if you have been enjoying these programs, and if you've been enjoying tonight, perhaps you would consider a donation to the National Symphony Orchestra. To do so, you simply go to kennedy-center.org/support NSO. There are many options there for you, many different ways that you can do support the NSO and figure out the ways that you want to do that. It's, of course, 100% tax deductible and would mean the world to us. So perhaps you'll consider that. And we're going to go back now to Scott, who is going to play for us Argoru 7. Thank you, Scott. That was terrific. Wow. We have one more piece to play for you tonight, but before we do that, I want to remind you we will be back next week at 7 o'clock on Sunday. Next week is an all violin program, so if you're a violinist, you're going to love it. We've got NSO violinists Jane Boyer-Stewart and Jennifer Fritz Kim. They'll be playing a slew of terrific duets for you. And we will be featuring one of our Youth Fellowship alumni. Julia Angeloff will be joining us on the violin, and we'll get to hear all about what she's been doing since she graduated from high school and moved onwards in life. So please join us next Sunday at 7. Alice and I are going to wrap things up now with a little piece. If you're an opera buff, you'll love it. If you are a fan of Bugs Bunny, you will love it. This is the Overture from the Barber of Seville by Jacini Rossini. Obviously, it's an arrangement for 2 instruments from the orchestral piece. If you're a Bugs Bunny fan, you might remember this as the Rabbit of Seville, and poor little Elmer Fudd just tries to get a haircut and all kinds of things go wrong. So please, hope you enjoy this. Welcome back, Alice, to the show. to Alice, to Matthew, to Scott, to Molly, to Truman, for Loie and Danielle joining us as well. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. This is it for us tonight. Please join us again next Sunday at 7 for Jane Boyer-Stewart, Jennifer Fritz Kim, and Julia Angeloff, all on the violin. I want to, of course, thank our fabulous producers, Bob Reardon, Jamie Roberts, and David Murray. I want to thank Thomas Baker for the artwork that you see. That's so beautiful at the beginning of the program that he did. I want to thank Sophie Edwards for helping so much with lighting and cables and all of that. And also remind you, I see on my screen right now, if you'd like to donate, please go to kennedy-center.org/NSO and then, support NSO. And there's many options for you there if you'd like to make a donation. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday at 7. Stay safe, stay healthy.